actor and cultural voice. Malcolm-Jamal Warner dies at 54. Cause of death and final words shared. Malcolm-Jamal Warner, the Emmy-nominated actor who grew up on America's television screens and became a respected voice in the creative and social justice communities, has died at the age of 54. His family confirmed that Warner passed away unexpectedly on July 20, 2025, following sudden cardiac arrest at his Los Angeles home. In his final days, he reportedly offered a reflection that now echoes with new meaning. Make the art. Share the truth. Love without fear. The actor, poet, and musician leaves behind a deep, multifaceted legacy that transcended his early fame and shaped conversations about identity, purpose, and resilience for decades. From Theo to thought leader, Malcolm-Jamal Warner first rose to fame at just 14, cast as the witty and lovable Theo Huxtable on NBC's groundbreaking The Cosby Show. As the only son in the Huxtable household, Warner's charm and natural comedic timing helped the show become one of the most successful sitcoms of all time and reshaped how Black families were portrayed on television. But even as the fame grew, Warner kept his focus on craft and evolution. Determined not to be trapped by his early success, he studied directing, acting, and music, and returned to the screen in a variety of roles that challenged stereotypes and showed his range, from the sitcom Malcolm and Eddie to intense dramas like Sons of Anarchy, The Resident, and American Crime Story. Off-screen, he developed a voice as a spoken-word poet and jazz funk artist, releasing albums and performing globally. A quiet force for change. Warner was never one to chase headlines. Instead, he worked intentionally, mentoring younger actors, producing independent projects, and using his platform to advocate for mental health awareness, racial justice, and arts education. Whether performing poetry at youth centers or speaking at university forums about Black masculinity in media, he insisted on conversations that mattered. His Grammy-winning collaboration on the track Jesus Children, a stirring tribute to the Sandy Hook victims, reflected his belief in art as healing and protest. Cause of death. According to his family, Warner's death came suddenly and without warning. He suffered cardiac arrest late in the evening and could not be revived, despite prompt medical care. Malcolm lived with intention and left us with peace, the Warner family said in a statement. He gave his all to every chapter of his life. Though we are devastated, we are grateful to have known the depth of his spirit and the beauty of his mind. His final words. In one of his last conversations with a close friend, Warner reportedly said, "Make the art. Share the truth. Love without fear." Those words, his family said, represented the mantra he lived by in his final years, a guiding principle for how he approached his relationships, his work, and the legacy he hoped to leave. Tributes from across the globe. As news of his passing spread, tributes poured in from across the world. Fans, colleagues, and public figures praised Warner not only for his talents, but for his humility, wisdom, and unwavering moral compass. Viola Davis wrote on X, "Malcolm-Jamal Warner walked through this industry with quiet strength and powerful purpose. He gave voice to so many truths." Kenya Barris, creator of Black-ish, described him as a North Star. He was never loud, never flashy, just steady, brilliant, and present, the kind of artist we all hope to become. Musicians, authors, and educators also shared stories of his mentorship, his performances, and the poetry he often kept out of the spotlight. A life beyond spotlight. Away from the cameras, Warner was a devoted husband, father, and son. He often spoke about how fatherhood transformed his view of legacy, saying in a 2023 interview, "The roles I take now, they have to be something my daughter can be proud of." He also continued creating until the very end, writing a memoir, mentoring young actors through an LA-based arts nonprofit, and quietly funding scholarships for students pursuing the arts. Continuing his mission, Warner's family announced that in lieu of flowers, they will be establishing the MJW Creative Justice Initiative, a foundation aimed at nurturing marginalized voices in film, music, and literature, while also supporting youth mental health programs. He believed everyone had a story that mattered, his wife said. This foundation is about helping people tell those stories, loudly, bravely, and beautifully. A final curtain, but not the end. Malcolm-Jamal Warner's passing marks the end of a chapter. but not the end of his impact. From his breakout moment as a boy on primetime television to his decades as a poet, thinker, and advocate, Warner consistently chose depth over fame, truth over comfort, and compassion over spectacle. In the years to come, his work, his words, and his warmth will continue to shape those he touched, whether on screen, in classrooms, or through the rhythms of his jazz-infused poetry. His final message reminds us of his spirit. Make the art, share the truth, love without fear. May we continue what he started.